really want people to understand this part. To death did us part. Please understand that. Please do. Because some narratives will not include that in that situation. And I thank God that he gave us that. And like with me and my son, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he's good. See, we have a whole nother village, you know what I mean, that was always there for us. Whole nother village. And that village came and embraced us and helped us on many levels. When we found out about Traci.
Yup, the beef drama between the late Traci Braxton's husband Kevin and the rest of the Braxton family is still going strong. And now that Traci has passed away, Kevin is finally revealing his side of the story on how the Braxton family really treated him, and this has set the Braxton sisters off big time, and they are coming at my man's neck.
One really wants to talk to little Kevin's father because there was a pretty public rift between our side of the family and him right after Traci passed.
So the first episode of the Braxtons came out, and people couldn't help but notice just how much the Braxtons were icing out Kevin now that they don't have to deal with him anymore. When I noticed Kevin's absence in the new show, I was like, wait a minute, that's weird, because the sisters are making Traci's passing the main plot of the first episode. And Traci's husband Kevin was not included in the conversation at all. As soon as the first episode aired, Kevin went live on IG. Now, he didn't really say anything directly nasty about what's going on between him and the Braxtons, but you can tell he was careful with his words. Child, that man made sure to drop some hints and made it clear that the entire family has completely banned him. Traci and Kevin were the only couple among the Braxtons that had a strong and consistent long-term marriage, while the other sisters are divorced from their first and even second husbands, okay? They also admitted and were very transparent about the challenges that they experienced in their relationship, even with cheating allegations and rumors about a secret child that Kevin fathered. One thing's for sure, Kevin and Traci loved each other down, and whenever she was in an interview, there he was. If Traci was performing, Kevin was in the background. If anything happened to Traci, Kevin would be there at the drop of a hat. Even with all of those disagreements Traci had with her sisters, Kevin always was there to have her back and support his wife. There was a lot of love between them, y'all. He was her soulmate. Kevin and Traci were married for 25 years, but they were together for 30 until she unfortunately passed away from esophageal cancer. But instead of Kevin and the Braxtons coming together as family to celebrate the life of this wonderful woman, they went into a very public feud, and it was all over page 6. Kevin held a memorial for Traci, and none of the sisters nor their mama bothered to show up. Instead of supporting, they released a public statement that Kevin was exploiting their sister's and the memorial wasn't something that Traci wanted. Now, I love me some Braxtons with all my heart, but I'm gonna have to check them on this for a minute. Kevin was Traci's immediate family and next of kin, even if they disagreed and disliked him. And he and their son have the final say on anything regarding Traci. And get this, there was even drama at the funeral service. So, Traci's father attended the funeral service, and he was allegedly initially denied access for not being on the list. An insider said about the situation, quote, he was so upset that he wasn't on the list. Someone from the church recognized him and let him in, and he sat in the 4th row. Braxton's father wasn't even allowed to speak or honor his daughter at the service. Well, according to Kevin, Traci's father was not denied access, and he also said that the sisters and the mom were invited, but just decided not to go. He also said Traci's father and brother briefly attended the funeral and weren't pushed away or excluded from celebrating Traci's life. Kevin released a statement because he wasn't going to let these people play all up in his face. He wasn't happy that Traci's sisters were portraying him like a bad husband out in the media and using their PR power when he was with her more than anyone. He said, quote, I was with my wife more than anybody in this world. I know my wife, and when she got cancer, we really started to communicate about funeral plans, and I was trying to find treatments for her. I went to every single of her doctor appointments throughout our entire marriage. That's how we were, and now they're treating me like a beat husband, end quote. He invited all of them to come to their memorial, but none of them would swallow their pride and just show up for their sister. Instead, the Braxton family held their own private memorial and didn't invite Kevin. He told Page 6, quote, I was never invited. No one has sent me any type of invitation, end quote. But honestly, I feel like there's so much going on behind the scenes. Listen to this.
There has been tension since before Traci got sick with Kevin, they don't like her husband. I said that, and this was also in the article on page 6, I said that Traci left everything to her son, made him the executor because she wanted things done a certain way, and she didn't want her sisters to come back and undo what she had planned. So she's, in a way, she kind of predicted what happened was going to happen.
Let me put this out there very clearly. Traci made her son the executor of the estate because she knew her sisters would come for Kevin if she left him to do it. And her son said that he fulfilled his mother's wishes exactly how she wanted. So that settles it, and they should have just let things go.
My sisters said that I was to them. I'm a sister. I have the same bloodline as all my sisters and brothers. I'm always treated like I am a cousin sister.
Traci was always a little bit less celebrated than the rest of the girls on the show. And you know how hard it was for them to hide how badly they treated her and disregarded what she had to say? Maybe her husband did the memorial just to show one last time how much Traci was actually loved and adored. After the memorial, Kevin took his time to process his grief privately. And if anything, you could say it's the Braxtons cashing in on their sister by making their grief about her passing a storyline for their new reality TV.
Respect where a person is. That's just it. And until that person or whoever is willing to move forward in that way, then you just have to respect where they are.
Well, the respect is a behavior, but I want to know how it feels to not have access to your sister.
But
be honest,
it's not connected to a feeling though. It's not connected to a feeling.
Okay.
It's not connected to a feeling though.
Someone said, quote, when Traci was alive, they didn't respect or value her, so their guilt prevented them from attending her funeral. It's not about the husband. There will come a time when they have to deal with their guilt. There's a time and a place for everything, end quote. Also, quote, when referring to Traci's husband, I think Tamar said it best. Ain't nobody listening to him because don't nobody respect him, end quote. That's the problem. They'd rather skip their own sister's funeral than have it run by someone they don't like or respect. Traci was just wasting her time trying to get her sisters to value her, end quote. And if you're really gonna see how someone truly is, it's during weddings and funerals. Kevin was a huge part of Traci's life, and that's why fans think it's trifling that they're all having these new episodes visiting grief counselors and talking about their sister's passing without their husband even being a part of the conversation. The fact that he wasn't there speaks volumes. This is also why people think Kevin has allegedly been kicked out by none other than Toni. She didn't say anything too direct, but she all but confirmed it on their new reality show, and it's weird that Toni's willing to go this far to show how much she dislikes him.
One really wants to talk to little Kevin's father because there was a pretty public rift between our side of the family and him right after Traci passed.
Allegedly, Toni isn't having any of it, and she's furious that he's trying to get the public on his side and bringing everyone into their business when they are just trying to grieve their sister. Now that Traci's gone, they want nothing to do with him, and the Braxtons no longer have to hide just how much they dislike him. Kevin is definitely kicked out the family now, and I don't think the Braxtons were ever going to try to reconcile with him, especially now that Traci's no longer in the picture. They have always treated him like trash, and they don't feel like Kevin is good enough for their family. But what do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to catch the next video.